All right, so review for Quick Change with Bill Murray, Gina Davis, Randy Quaid, Jason Robards. Basically, Bill Murray robs a bank. He's dressed as a clown. And then he is able to escape. And the rest of the movie, he's trying to find the airport. And this is all spoilers. I didn't love this movie. I thought it was okay. I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10. It's worth a watch just for Bill Murray, I'd say. I did like Jason Robards too. But there's Gina Davis, there's Randy Quaid. They're in on it with him. They're in the bank. Randy Quaid's got this big beard. She's kind of in a disguise too, and he locks them all away in the bank, all the people in the vault, and he slowly is releasing people. And then he releases Randy Quaid because he's freaking out, which he does throughout this whole movie. And it got annoying. I'm sorry. I like Randy Quaid, but man, he's just freaking out the whole movie, and he's throwing up in the bank. So they're all like, "Okay, we vote for him to leave first." So then he leaves, and then Gina Davis and Bill Murray leave because this is all part of the plan. And that's the best part of the movie, in my opinion, is the first. I don't even know if it's 20 minutes, but the first 20 minutes or so, that's the best part. This is a movie I feel like should have been better and funnier. There are some good lines from Bill Murray. He is funny. He's always kind of funny. But, I don't know. After they leave the bank, I think the movie loses its energy. Bill Murray co-directed this. As far as I know, this is the only thing he's ever directed. He co-directed it with Howard Franklin, who did a few other movies I haven't seen. It's directed okay. I mean, it's nothing amazing. This isn't Steven Spielberg. This isn't Stanley Kubrick. This isn't Christopher Nolan. It's just kind of. It's all in focus. It's shot okay. A little boring though, I think, but yeah, it's a movie I feel like should have been better. It has a good premise. I like all the stuff in the bank. I think all that's really good. It's funny when he walks up to the bank as a clown, and then the guard's shutting the door. He's like, I have 3 minutes, and the guard's like, nope, come back tomorrow. He pulls the gun out, and the guard's like, oh yeah, you have plenty of time. That stuff was funny. It's funny how he enters the bank and he pulls the gun out and he's like, this is a robbery. And like everyone looks at him, and then everyone goes back to what they're doing. It's like, this is a robbery. And like no one cares what he's saying. And he has some back and forth with the guard that was funny. And then I forget if he shoots the gun or he just screams, and then people go, oh, and they pay attention. And then the rest of the movie happens, and Jason Robards arrives on the scene. Great actor, been in tons of good stuff. He's in Once Upon a Time in the West. Great kind of old school actor. Usually kind of plays like a no nonsense kind of guy, and that's what he's doing. He's doing what he does best. Stuff with him was entertaining, and then they trick him. It's a pretty good plan. He asked for all this crazy stuff like a monster truck and a Harley Davidson and a helicopter, and then that's how he thinks he's going to get out, is on the helicopter. So he's got him looking at areas where he should be looking, but he's looking at other areas because he thinks that's how he's going to get away. But no, he just walks out, and he has different hair, and he looks totally different, and And then that's pretty much the jump start of the movie. And yeah, that's when the movie loses its steam, I think, because then there's all this stuff with Randy Quaid throughout the whole movie is like, oh my god, we're gonna die, we're going to jail, I can't go to jail. And you know, and he's, because they all have a third of the money strapped to their bodies, and he, you know, and I just, it just got annoying. Like when he's in the bank and he's saying that is fine, you know, but then afterwards, because then Bill Murray has the phone number to Jason Robards, and you know, he calls him because, you know, he keeps calling him to make sure he's not going to raid the bank, make him hold out as long as he can so he can get to the airport with them, and they're going to go to Fiji, I think. And but when he's doing that, Randy Quaid is in the car and he accidentally honks the horn, of course, because he's kind of a bumbling idiot, really, in this movie. But it's like his old best friend. And then Robards is like, what was that? And he's like, what was what? So then they talk, they hang up, and Robards finds out, he's like, I think that was a car horn. He's like, I don't know why, but I don't think they're in the bank. I don't think he's in the bank anymore. So they raid the bank and he's not. And they were kind of afraid to also, because Bill Murray had dynamite or fake dynamite, I don't know. And he said he planted it all over the place. And so, but yeah, and then they're trying to find the freeway. They cannot find it. The on-ramp to the freeway. The one they were going to use was under repair, and then they're like, well, where's the next on-ramp? He's like, I don't know. And I don't know. I've never been to New York City, but is it that hard to get on the freeway? I mean, I just don't buy that. Like, I just don't buy that. There would be on-ramps every couple miles or something. I don't know. It just doesn't seem believable to me, and it takes them forever to finally get to the airport. And yeah, Randy Quaid, man, he really annoyed me in this movie. Like, right after the bank, and he's just freaking out the whole movie. And then Gina Davis, too, she kind of started annoying me, too, because she's giving Bill Murray a bunch of stuff, you know, shit. Like, I don't even know, like, she gets so angry at him because he says after he robbed the bank, he's like, and he's with her and he's like holding her and he's like, now I am complete. And then she doesn't like that because it turns out that she's pregnant, but she hasn't told him. And I guess she's angry because, well, if you're complete, then you don't want to have a family with me. But she's like really reading into this one line he says. It's like, give the guy a break. He's trying to get you and Randy Quaid, who's a bumbling idiot, to the plane and, you know, not get you all arrested. You know, he's got a lot on his plate. Like, give Bill Murray a break. And then after that, she's just like very moody, very just kind of passive aggressive, angry at him. And yeah, and then so then she started to annoy me too. And then when they finally get to the airport, she says, "I'm not going on the plane." And he's like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well," she's like, "You obviously have your own life." And he's like, "Why are you mad at me?" And she's like, "Well, I was in love with you until you became James Cagney." Because then at one point in the movie, they run into some mobsters. And Bill Murray has to quick talk him, and he's able to get actually another $6,000 from them. And he robs the mob. But that part's kind of funny. Stanley Tucci's in that part. But then she kind of seemed like she was like turned on from him dealing with mobsters. But then later she's like angry about it, and you know, because James Cagney, what is that, like, was he like did a lot of mob movies or something? I don't know, but that's what I thought that meant. Yeah, and then she's like, I'm not getting on the plane. And and it's just like like sometimes in movies it's like manufactured drama. Like it could happen, but would it? I don't know. Like, so yeah. I like Gina Davis, I like Randy Quaid, but in this movie, especially Randy Quaid, he is annoying. They get kind of annoying. I mean, at one point in the movie, Randy Quaid is in the car, and this cabbie can't speak English, and it's like, could you really be a cabbie and not speak any English? And like Bill Murray's just like, just take us to JFK, the airport. And the cabbie cannot understand that. So then the Randy Quaid's like freaking out, saying like, "Oh, we got to get another cab," and they see one, and then he just jumps out of the car and runs into a paper stand. And they get out, and they think he's like dead. And then Jason Robards hears of this, because he figures it all out. He's like, okay, we're looking for two men and a woman. And yeah, and then and Randy Quaid just keeps screaming about, we're gonna die, we're gonna get arrested, I can't go to jail, like, I'm sorry that I messed up on the horn, which he did. He totally messed up. And so yeah, and then at the end of the movie, I'm not sure it even makes sense, because then throughout the movie, Jason Robards starts to think that because of the mob connection, because they rip off the mob, then that guy, one of the mobsters tries to kill them. They get on a bus, so and then there's this whole mobster that used to live in New York, and now he is gone, maybe, but he may be in New York still. So then Jason Robards starts to think, okay, they're connected to this mobster, and the mobster's played by what's his name? The villain in RoboCop. Awesome actor. I love that guy. And they're on the plane, and Jason Robards gets on the plane. But then the villain from RoboCop jumps up, pulls a gun out on his wife. I think on his wife. But then he starts attacking Jason Robards, and Bill Murray and Randy Quaid then help Robards and pacify him. But then Jason Robards just kind of thinks, okay, good, so I finally caught you. You're wanted for all these things. But it's like, does he think that he's the bank robber? Because this whole time he's searching for the bank robber. I'm not sure that makes any sense. So it's like he thinks that he was in the clown costume, which is on the poster. So you can't really see who, Bill Murray's face. So I guess he thinks that he was the guy who robbed the bank. But that doesn't really make any sense to me. Because then it's like, well, what about the woman and Randy Quaid? Like, aren't you still going to be looking for them? But then he arrests him, and then when the plane's flying in the air, he kind of looks and he's like, huh, wait a minute. Maybe that was the bank robber, the guy that helped me. I don't think that really makes much sense, but by that point, I'm just kind of like, good, because this movie, I didn't think it was that amazing. It's kind of just a middling movie. I don't really know why Bill Murray really wanted to do this. I mean, he gets to co-direct. That's cool. I watched like an interview where he's saying, this is a movie for New Yorkers because they know how messed up the city is. But it's like, is it that messed up that you cannot get on the freeway? I mean, I don't believe that, but right. But yeah, this movie's just, it's kind of like, it's almost like an anti-heist movie, because you think it's going to be a heist movie, but then it's not. So yeah. But yeah, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It's got a pretty good cast, though. Man, who's that guy that's in this? Like Jason Robards. Trying to find. That's Phil Hartman. That's it. And Tony Shalhoub. Tony Shalhoub's the cab driver. You know, even he kind of started to annoy me too, because he's like freaking out after Randy Quaid jumps out of the car. He thinks he's dead. Then he starts begging the cops to arrest him. And then this oh, he doesn't speak English, and we don't know what language he's speaking. And I don't know, even that part kind of annoyed me. But Phil Hartman's in it. Yeah, I liked his part, but it's not that funny. Like, they have to go get a change of clothes because all their clothes get stolen by this guy. And they're in Gina Davis's apartment. And then I guess he's the landlord, Phil Hartman, and he gets in there with his wife. He thinks they're stealing from the place. He pulls a gun on them. And then finally they kind of convince him that, you know, this is my apartment. I mean, wouldn't he know that that's Gina Davis's apartment if he's the landlord? I don't know. So, yeah, great cast. Just wasn't that into the movie. But yeah, like I said, the first 25 minutes are pretty good. Like, pretty damn good. I just wish that was the whole movie. Like, I really do. I wish the whole movie was them in the bank and him talking to Robards and demanding crazy stuff. And then, you know, in the end, he can escape. I just think that would have been a more entertaining movie. Based on a book by Jay Cronley. I don't know, that book sounds boring to me, but Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars. He really liked it. The bank heist is the first act of the movie, and it's fun. Then the real movie starts when Grimm and his accomplices attempt to get to the airport so they can hop on a flight to a faraway tropical destination. It is rarely easy to get to the airport from Manhattan, and sometimes they discover it is impossible. Is it that hard? I don't understand. Like, just get on. There has to be entrances to the freeway. Yeah, and then there's this like random scene where these group of Hispanic people, like 2 of them are on bikes, and they're going at each other like they're knights. You know, like they're jousting. And that was like so random. And then the movie just kind of stops right there, and they're all just watching this. And then Bill Murray's just like, let's get out of here. Like, I don't know what's going on here. So that was very odd, but their trip turns into a long day's journey into a nightmare as they encounter manic cab drivers, grocery robberies in progress, and a bus driver, Philip Bosco, who deals. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, I've seen he's in a bunch of stuff. Great cast, like I said, who deals with the chaos of the world around him by adhering to all the rules all the time. The Bosco character provides some of the funniest pages in the film. That's true. By rigidly establishing the conditions under which they operate, he creates the kind of problems that comedies thrive on. And desperately escaping bank robbers have to accept the inflexible rules of his logic to get anywhere. And when they do, it's not where they're going. I didn't say the bus went to the airport. I said the bus went to near the airport. Quick Change is a welcome film from Bill Murray, coming as it does after a career slump that produced the disappointing Ghostbusters 2. I'd rather watch Ghostbusters 2 than this, definitely. I think it's funnier too. And The Dreadful Scrooged? The Dreadful Scrooged? Really? That movie's way better than this. It's better directed, too. He gave Scrooged a 1 out of 4 stars. Wow, man, he hated that movie. I totally disagree. It has him back in the real world, which provides him with the kinds of comedic possibilities he handles best. Murray, like the bus driver, often functions by bringing logic to bear on the impenetrable stupidity. His posse is that he is smarter than those around him. Wow, Gina Davis has an Academy Award. The Accidental Tourist. I've never seen that. She is beautiful, tall, sexy, and smart, and there is no easy categories for her. Every character is an original. What makes her funny this time is her rather peculiar quirk. She finds intelligence sexy. The fact that Murray has the courage and imagination to pull off a complicated bank heist turns her on. Quaid, on the other hand, is a slavish follower who laughs comes from his dogged determination to do the right thing, even if he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't even complain about, like, how she... It's just like... It's already a crazy situation. Do you, like, if you're gonna leave the guy, at least get on the plane, go to Fiji, and then say, okay, I'm leaving. You know, like, it's like, I don't know. Randy Quaid in this. Wow. Quick Change is a funny but not inspired comedy. It has two directors, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the inability to be more than just effectively entertaining. Comedy is more individual than drama, I think, because it springs from one person's sense of ridiculousness. It's not a good idea to have two people standing around asking each other if they think something works. So, yeah, I mean, I would give it 2.5 out of 4, if not 2. So 2.5. I guess a 6 is more. 6 out of 10 is more for 2.5. But yeah, I didn't like it as much as him. But yeah, oh, the trivia. This is the only movie directed by Bill Murray. When the original director Jonathan Demme became unavailable, oh, didn't he direct Silence of the Lambs? Writer of Howard Franklin and producer Bill Murray couldn't agree on who would be good to direct the project, so they decided to do the job themselves. The watch that the bank employee tries to give Bill Murray is an Audemars Piguet Moon Phase 18 karat gold alligator band watch. He states its value is $12,000, but it appreciates daily. It may be a coincidence, but in the Bill Murray Scrooge, he is wearing the same watch, which can be seen when he checks the time in the restaurant. That scene is funny. I will give this movie that. The scene when the guy who's in the bank is trying to basically bribe him to let him go. And he's like, here, have my watch. Just have it as a gift. It's, $12,000 plus. And then Bill Murray's like, well, I'd feel indebted to you. He's like, how about this? I'll buy it for $300. with the bank's money, of course. So that scene's funny. Like I said, Bill Murray's good in this. It's just a lot of the other stuff I just wasn't that into. But if you do me a favor and smash that like button, be great. It really helps the channel. But yeah, comment below. Let me know. Are you a fan of this movie? I know there are some big fans of this movie. People think it's hilarious. I'm just not one of them. But that's how it is, especially with comedies. So, but yeah, I think that's about it though. I'll see you next time.